Listen, um, I'm not going to waste any time really, and I'm not going
Okay,
to put you in an
that's
online
hard.
waiting room in case we can't get you back. Uh, and that we've just run with the episode now. So welcome to the dirt, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
uh, is it okay if I call you Mark? Is that
Yeah. It's when I started using the internet, everybody, my friend called me Marc because my last name is Marcikic. You know, it's maybe hard for you, but I used it Marc. But when you guys read it, you read it Mark, so it stayed Mark. So everybody knows me as a Mark, but it's short for my last name.
okay? And
Americans call me
how would you
Predrag.
how would you say your first name then?
Predrag.
Predrag.
Yeah, it means
Okay.
too dear. I'm not just dear. I'm too dear. You know.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm happy to go with Predrag if that's what you'd prefer.
No. Predrag is the name my mom calls me when I do something wrong. You know. So
Hopefully, we won't need to do
yeah,
that.
everybody calls me Peja or Mark. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, it
Well,
is.
welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Mark, to the dirt.
Yeah.
As you'll notice if you're watching this on screen, we're also joined by an extra special co-host in James Wanklyn.
Yeah.
Um, James and Mark go back many years, as I'm sure they'll be able to indulge us in a few of the tales from over the years, perhaps.
Sure.
Um, but excuse mine and Slogs's like lameness in that we still haven't made it to Serbia to ride with you guys, despite it having been on the wish list for many, many years. We should hang our heads in shame for not making it out there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, James joins us all the way from Belfast. He's over there recording for a new feature-length film. I think it's the a remake of the Bourne um, series. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why are you in Belfast?
Um, because very randomly I'm going to be on a BBC daytime quiz show tomorrow. So yeah, random day.
Nice. Um,
Are you alone or with family?
I'm alone.
Uh,
They're at home, and I'm just here for literally one
So
night. I got here at
what
lunchtime. And
happens? What happens in Belfast, stay in Belfast, right?
this is what's happening in Belfast.
So it's instead of going through the Trivial Pursuit questions and doing a bit of homework, you've come along and joined us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I was revising. I was revising before you came on.
Is it
Oh.
multiple choice?
No.
I was going to say, if in doubt, choose C.
That, that got him one GCE, you know. That got
And
him
that got me to where I am today.
just by ticking C in every multiple choice. What are we chatting about? We've got Mark here. Come on.
Yeah,
We need to
good.
indulge us a little bit in your history, Mark, because you've been doing this a long, long time. I think we've
Yeah,
been we've been sort of Facebook friends. It turns out for quite a many a year. Um, but yeah, James, like we said briefly in the intro, has been coming out to see you since 2012. But we assume that you have a life in mountain boarding pre 2012. How did you
yeah.
come to be a mountain boarder?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I started monkey boarding in 2005 when I got my first board. But I was, I'm a skateboarder. So when I was skateboarding, we had all those magazines, Thrasher magazine and skateboarding. And something in the mid 90s, there were in one magazine, there were a poster with a rider riding down the hill with the big off-road wheels, skateboard on the off-road. And I said it was so cool. And my friends also saw it. Uh, Lately, I found out it was probably Dave's father because he was riding back then on those wheels and he was in those magazines. So it could be his picture, probably. So I was going to the Germany to the skate shop. We didn't have any skate shops back then in the Yugoslavia and the Serbia. So I was going to the Germany, to the Hungary, to the skate shops. I asked for the offer the wheels. Everybody was what? Cool. No such thing over here. So yeah. So luckily, my brother was in Seattle, somewhere in early in 2005, and I asked him to find me some offer reviews, and he said, "Google it from the internet, and I'll buy it." So I tried Google it to find, and then I discovered a whole new sport. And said mountain boarding. There is the first thing I bumped into was the Mongols mountain boards.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed him that and said, okay, buy me one. And he went to the skate shop over there and they told him, no, Mongols is not good, buy MBS. So he bought me that Ambush Warrior. I didn't know what to expect, what is over there. So that's $100, Ambush Warrior. And he brought me that board 1 month after that. So I started riding with it. You know, in the ambush, in the skate tracks, and when you go in the bigger speed, you start the speed wobbles, and I had a few crashes, and it's useless, but I was very quickly over that. So I started Google again, and then I found the Max Truck. Was it Max Truck, the shop from the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and he sold me the used Core 16.
Got you.
Oh, so that was my second board,
With
and
with the first gen Matrix trucks on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was another story. So I tried to ride it, and it all started it in 2005 here in Serbia.
Nice. And so did you build up a bit of a collection of riders back then?
Yeah, since I'm working in the school, like as a gym teacher, so my first riders were my students. So I took them and said, "Do you want to ride a board on the grass?" I said, "Okay, yeah." So I took a bunch of kids and I started to learn them to ride. And by learning them to ride, I was learning myself. I was gaining experience. So I made them for the dual slalom. On the Petradian Fortress, we're riding. There is a 300 meters along dual slalom track. So two kids in the same time going to the through the gates. So I had like on my first competition in 2000, I think it was already 2006. I had like 8 kids. So 8, 4 to 2, and got the winner. So and then I asked for my friends for the skateboarding. So the his name same as my Predrag, but we call him Slovenian, because he lived in Slovenia, slow. So yeah, this is the guy.
Ah,
Nice.
check that out.
So so I
I
so
like
I
you
asked
doing
him
your
to,
homework there. You had that pre-prepared, didn't you?
yeah, I did, because I made a back then when I was all into the multi-boarding. So I made some magazines for myself. So I have like 3 issues. There is a number one with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thorn in the eye, it's Serbian visual. So
Yeah.
Thorn.
inside there is like a history of multi-boarding and some races. I believe there is a number with the
Is
when
it
James
kind of like
Wanklyn.
a Serbian version of the Scuzz magazines that used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
come
something
out?
like that. Yeah, so just some pages so with some pictures and with the data from the competitions, and all pictures you can see from the 2005 and 6. So and this is the first edition with the boba. I think over there is a Pietrannante European Mountainboard Challenge 2012 there inside. So the year when James came over here, right?
Ah.
So I was doing that, and I forgot why I was. Yeah, the slow. So he was a skateboarder, and we started all together to ride, two of us, and to collect people. So in 2007, I found a track which is 40 kilometers from Novi Sad. We made over there our first border cross track. It was rollers like 10 centimeters high. So we put it. I was a big enthusiast over there because I sat on my bike. I put a monkey board on my back, on a backpack, and a big spade also on the bike. And I rode 40 kilometers, and then I build a track whole day, ride in my board, and go back 40 kilometers because I don't drive a car, right?
Couldn't you have just like ridden 4 kilometers?
There is nothing in 4 kilometers here for it.
Okay.
So it was 40. So I was finding a slope where can I build something. So nobody said you cannot do it there. So my friend said there is a slope. He has a house over there. So I went
Yeah.
there. So we made our first competition in 2007 over there. It was and that Bob was there also for the first time. I met him through the one guy also because I was riding on the fortress with the kids, and then was one guy Kiseli. I don't know if James know Kiseli, the guy with the mustache. Uh, he stepped, he stopped his car, and he has a big NBS speaker on his windshield that he made. So he started he wanted to try to ride with me also, and he met me to the Boba, and Boba was snowboarding with him, so Boba came in the story. So in that competition in 2007, Boba was a pretty bad rider. I think he injured his elbow or something when he fell. I was the guy who won, and we had three Romanians and two Hungarians in competition, and when we started with the race, and when we felt that competition, and I said, "This is something I must do," and the rest is history.
And how long was that track in use for then?
Yeah, we was running there to 2007, and the next year, on the spring, uh, we went over there because the Romanian, the first time they came three Romanians, and the next time they came like 10 Romanians, the Boba and Erika and Sonia. Not sure if Sonia was there that year, but Erika was for sure. They all came, the whole what the fuck gang came over here, and the first day was the freestyle competition on the fortress, and the second day we went to that track and we made a competition over there, and Bobby won, of course. And in the same year,
Showed me loads of photos when he stayed at my house. He was showing me all about that one competition. He had like long dreads, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was spring, it was first May, and in the October we had already a new track because Boba said we must find something closer to the Novi Sad, and Bukovac is 11 kilometers from Novi Sad, and from Boba it's like 5 or 6 kilometers. So we went over there. I said I was riding in Bukovac already, but it is all in the thorns. It cannot be done. We went there with the people from the villages. They said you can use this slope to make a track. And I looked at the track. It was thorns all over to the head. And Bob said, "Okay, we will do it." He was always enthusiastic. So we start working with the tractors, in the bulldozers, and in the hands. And so we made our first track in 2008, and the berms weren't it was just pile of the ground. They weren't rideable. It was just we are doing the turns and everything, but it's started working. So if anybody went in a full speed to the turn, you just fell over to the bushes, to the thorns. So it was very exciting.
James, what was it like when? I mean, I'm assuming when you first went there back in 2012, it wouldn't have been it would have been a lot more shaped than what it would have been like in the early days with that Marc's talking about here. But obviously, I've only this track is kind of legendary, the Novi Sad track, if you will, and having never ridden it, I don't feel particularly sort of qualified to speak of it. You know, really, like what's the terrain like there for in comparison to what we have in the UK or what we might be used to seeing on some of the European tracks?
It
Uh,
was, yeah, it was an eye opener the first time I went there because because I got a message from Marc a few weeks before saying, "Would you like to come out?" And I'd not seen any Serbian mountain whatsoever. So when me and Lau were like, "Yeah, we'll come along," I remember sat at Court Farm with Tom D, and we just Googled, well, put into YouTube Serbian mountain and found a video from the year previous, and it was somebody on a bike with doing a follow cam, and just because of the angle when it's on the bike, it looked really shallow and really slow. And Tom was like, "You're going to grease this. It's going to be easy." And then the day we turned up was you turn up on the road that you drive up, and that's after like the third corner of the actual track. So we pulled up. I walked to the top where the starting gate was, and I sort of looked down the hill, and you could see over the road, long straight, two corners, and then it just sort of disappears. So I turned, I think it's one of the Polish guys, and I said, how far down does it go? Because you couldn't see the end. And he was like, "Oh, it goes to the bottom." And I was like, that's a long that's a long way to walk. Do I walk all the way down to see the bottom half? Nah, I'd be all right, I'd be fine. So I just dropped in half blind. I could only see the first half of the track and expected to do the first 5, 6 corners that I could see and then pretty much finish. And I just remember getting to over this camel and being right, okay, another corner. Oh, it's getting faster. Another corner. Bomb hole. Another corner. Another corner. I'm like, where does it end? Where does it end? What, 14 corners, I think.
Yeah,
And
something like that.
yeah, I just wasn't expecting the length. We don't have anything that length at home at all. No, nothing. But the bottom half is probably best described similarly to the black run at Court Farm because there's only a few features, but it's just berm, berm, berm with no breathing space in between, and it's getting faster as you go down. It's not slowing you down or staying at pace. It is you don't have any time to relax. The first half is probably, I don't know, fairly similar in gradient, things like Another World. It's not that steep at the top.
yeah.
And then it gets steeper as you go down after the road. And there's more features in the first half, but it's kind of like an amalgamation of loads of our tracks, but just in one really big long one. And that's before they put the toilet bowl in as well.
And Marc, you say this slope was essentially covered in thorns and you
Yeah.
know the work that must go into shaping a track of that length must have been incredible. You know,
Yeah,
I've built a few
we're
tracks
going
over
there
the years with
for days. Yeah,
machinery, and
yeah,
it's not an easy task. It takes a long time, even with machinery, and getting it right, which apparently you guys have done as well, with the way that it works. Like I take my hats off to you. How long do you think it took to build the track as such there?
yeah. But it's days and days of work because we had the track in 2008 and in 2009 we was make it bigger, the turns bigger, make some rollers, and the start was first closer, then we push it over to the hill because Boba has big plans. He always to make some bigger, to make it harder and to faster. It's so tricky. When I started to ride, I was looking those videos from the UK, and there was like 6 rounds or something. So you had a lot of uh, parks or back then, OTG and others. So it was like 6 rounds, and I was looking those races and I said, "Oh, wow, this we must have that." So we started to make, but we couldn't make the track like that. But the terrain is different, but we are trying to put something. We are trying to ride it. We made it too hard for us. We are riding it and it's go too fast. You don't know what to do. So the first time when the Polish crew came over here to ride, then we saw that they're doing the check speeds with the back tires. They were riding and doing check speed, and slowing. So before the turn, so they're controlling their speed over there. We saw that it could be ridden with the control. Before that, it was just ride, do the power slide in the turn, crash, stand up, and then full speed like Italian. So then the 1 year, at least in 2011, there came the Timothy Lembrec from France, and he was a really good rider. So he smashed that, and Bob said we must have Britons here. They say they are the best in the world, and no way they can ride out tracks in full speed. So I said, I don't know. Yeah. it looks impossible to me also to ride in full speed, but when James came and then the next year the others and said it can be ridden in the full speed. And we also did it back after that, because when you ride, you gain the skill. So you just need a skill to ride it with, and to overcome the fear. Because everybody who came to our track, Romanians, Czech, Polish, Bulgarians, when they looked at those turns, they said they got really scared. It looks scary. And when you go 40, 50 kilometers per hour in the turns, it's not pleasant.
It's one that especially in the latter half, you've got to attack it. It's one of those, if you shy away and you try and scrub a bit of speed here, lose a bit of speed there, all you need to be is off on one turn, and you just lose your rhythm and your momentum. You've really got to come into the bottom half charging, even when you're on your own, not even in a race. You've got to be attacking the turns, otherwise it just bucks you off.
Yeah.
How long is the track?
The track is wide. Yeah, the track is wide, and there is always one perfect line you making you ride in. So if you make your first position after the few turns, you can control the whole race. For the most rather, but for the mat, for the Cody, you couldn't control, because they will jump over you. If you try to overcome somebody in the turn, you will lose the speed, but they will ride on the edge and just jump over you and go to the finish line. The speed they're going.
I think it's over 1 kilometer, Slugs.
Sorry?
How long is it in length? I think it's over 1 kilometer, right?
No, it's not. It's like 800 meters, something like 800 meters.
That's still double anything we've really had here ever, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then time-wise, I think before the toilet bowl and the bridge was added in, nobody was sub-minute, but it was 1 minute 3, 1 minute 4 for the fastest times, and then I think it's 1 minute 20 something after the toilet bowl was put in. So
yeah, for you guys, I do 140.
That's a long old run. You've already got jelly legs by the end of that.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I don't do practice runs because I don't have strength to ride it. So you all them, you push, and when you go down, the pass is over 180, you're running uphill. It's unbelievable.
And it's a long time to concentrate if you're wheel to wheel as well.
That rush you have when you collide with somebody in the turn, it's something indescribable. So that's why we are riding here.
Is there a lot of overtaking possibilities as well?
Well, as I say, if you're skillful, there is. But if you're good enough and you take the perfect line, that nobody can touch you.
No one can touch you once you're out.
Yeah, but the last 3 turns are so hard and so big speed is that just one mistake you make, because they know they are behind you. If you make one mistake, you're out. So it's big pressure. So James knows it. He's always falling in the last 30 meters.
James, just so I know, have you ridden it in switch?
Ah,
Have you ridden it in switch?
I've ridden about
Here
the
we
first,
go. Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
I've done the first like 2/3 in switch. The last third, I jumped back around because that was slightly too much. But yeah, it is actually I think you said there's not a huge amount of place to overtake, but as Mark said, you're waiting for somebody to fall over if not. But since the addition of the bridge and the toilet bowl, that point where before there was a really long straight, and that's where you started to like spread out. That
Yeah, it
now
sort of punches you up now, doesn't it?
slows you down, bunches you up, and so it almost sort of resets the race. And so I feel like the last year before last when we raced, was it 2021 when we raced there? It was quite wet, so it didn't do it justice, but it was a lot closer and there were overtaking lines compared to years before.
So how far down the track's the toilet bowl?
After 4 corners, so you drop in, you've got 3 rollers, left, right, another 3 rollers, little drop right over the road, and then there's a feature before the big bridge and override. So that's really the point where you start to get your running order, and then it bunches you up.
Is there a like a tactical line through that feature? Because I've never ridden anything like that before. You know, you sort of corkscrew down, do you? The corkscrew
Yeah,
underneath yourself.
yeah, it can be tweaked a little bit. It's not quite perfect, but I mean, it's the first attempt anybody's done one of those in ours. But it is a case of as you get to the apex of the bridge, slowing down. Slower is better to get that smooth line in there. If you come too fast and go too high, you do get slow. So
Yeah, you
there is
scrub off the speed in the wrong place to allow the gradient of the feature to take you with, I suppose, isn't it?
it's not perfect, but it is great, and it
Right.
really makes the race interesting.
It's different, and that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seeing the drone shots in the videos over the years of it, going over the top there as riders passing underneath the people. Yeah, cool. It's like Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, we got to take time out for a second just to say that, you know, thanks to Bobber for his involvement in getting that off the ground. It'd be remiss to do this episode and, you know, not give some thanks there to him. Bobber, if you're listening, thank you very much. Um, I hope to one day ride there. Do you reckon? Is there anything in the future? Do you reckon for the Novi Sad track? Do you think?
Yeah, but well, we went apart from the last competition we had because with the Corona it all stopped, and I went get back to the skateboarding. And Boba now is doing with horses. He has horses over there now, so he's there every day, but he's just riding horses. He's riding, but he has a plan to make something this summer. I think the summer is not good because it's too hot during the summer there.
Mhm.
We had uh, over 40 degrees, you know, and in the evening the the sun goes down, the mosquitoes are unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I don't like the summer over there. It could be the rhythm during the day, but when it goes dark, just run away. But he wants to do something. He is doing in the bushes. He is making some houses over there so people can there stay and sleep. And he has the idea to people could come over there for the camp to work on the track to ride to enjoy it. So
Oh,
not
cool.
sure how it can be done during the summer. The autumn is just perfect because the September October is like 25 plus degrees. It's hot. You can ride in the t-shirt and
Yeah.
the days are a bit shorter, but it's perfect for riding and no bugs, no mosquitoes.
And it's
So
my birthday in October.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
he wants. I'm not sure if he will be able to push it
yeah.
through. If he has to help, I'll probably help. But I am now went into the other way. I started all over again. I start the kids to ride. I ride with my kids and with the other kids. I teach kids to ride,
Yes.
and I enjoy that. So maybe if I think if Sonia will push him probably Sonny get involved, and maybe Arno and some people. He can do it, and we can help him to make it. The biggest problem is for the track because during the winter the water ruins everything. There is the trenches like
Yeah.
almost half meter deep, so you must fix that. And
Oh, that's it.
the grass and the Taurus are not that big problem as those branches from the
The
water.
people who haven't lived in the mountains, that are covered in, deal with snow, you don't
Yeah,
realize how much of an issue erosion can be on tracks
yeah, it's
and stuff like
unbelievable. The
that.
erosion. You should see rain in Bucos, big rain. It's like a river.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Because Bucos is between two slopes inside, and all the rains comes down and unbelievable. Once we were there, we were running during the rain. It was so big rain that the road from the track to the village it's 3 kilometers long. It had like 20 centimeters. The whole wheels were under the water. You know,
Fucking hell.
yeah, we were running. I was sitting in the trunk of the car and shooting that. There was a video on YouTube, and Boba and I were there riding through the through the river. So it's nice, it's slow, enjoying it all the way to the village. You can ride. It's
Nice.
a lot
And
through
is
the water.
is there aside from the track and Bobber and that, is there much of a Serbian community? I mean, we've mentioned Sonia, and I know that after Sonia's episode, we spoke briefly because spoke about a spot that Sonia mentioned that she likes to go and ride at. Was it called Dream City or something? Uh,
Star City in Romania.
Star City.
Star City.
And
It's
my,
Star Choice. Yeah, Star Choice, but it's like we call it Star City. They call it Star City. It's like New Zealand. It looks like similar to Bucot, the mild slopes, and it's like 1 kilometer long, and the grass is so small and soft, so there are no turns. So the ships are eating everything, and it's unbelievable. So for riding, it just I think I sent you
you
the
did.
the
You
video
did, yes.
when I was uh,
It looks incredible,
yeah. You
like
can do any what you want because it's wide like snowboarding. It's wide and grass and you just it's mild and enjoy it. It's not like in Italy with Peniche where when you're on downhill. It's there is those ski slopes are too steep and you go like 60 on those slopes
yeah.
and you fall and you just keep sliding and continue to ride. But
That's
here you don't have that speed, but you can enjoy it. You go left and right, wherever you want. Like just free riding and
Yeah, it
enjoy.
looked like because we have Cleve Hill in the UK, and that is there's a lot of sheep kept on that ground. It's public ground and stuff. So but you'd have areas of tufted grass, but where the sheep sort of steer clear of. And I don't know why they don't eat particular areas of grass and others. Um, but yeah, that's all kept really, really short, and it is just the perfect sort of terrain for mountain boards.
Yeah,
They're absolutely incredible.
there are slopes like that, I believe, everywhere, but you just have to have your board. There is mountains in Serbia with those slopes also, but they are too far just to go to ride. And the problem is when you go ride 1 kilometer, you have to climb climb up it. You know,
You gotta
we
get
were,
back up the bugger.
yeah. Back then, when we had snow here in Novi Sad, we were riding snowboards on the border cross track.
Right.
It's just perfect. It's 700 meters. You have a 700 meters long track. You ride turns and rollers and enjoying, but the 700 meters uphill with through the snow, it's not that pleasant. I did like 6 or 7 times, and people usually do one or two, and they get tired.
I
Yeah.
think better in the snow than 40 degrees, though, right?
Yeah. But were in that Star City, there was a guy from Bulgaria. I think the demo was he had a kite, so he was running down and he took the kite out from his back cap, opened it, and just been push him uphill. fold it back in the bike and go down. So he was riding like that.
Right.
If
But
you know how.
well, these days we'd use the knee, wouldn't you? I suppose would be the easiest way of doing that.
Yeah,
Flick the thumb and you're straight back up again.
yeah.
So, what is the sort of current state of play for the Serbian scene outside of, you mentioned you're working as a teacher and you still
Yeah.
do help with the kids and stuff like that. Are there any other riders in Serbia that sort of um within your
Well,
crew?
no, because the all we have is here in Novi Sad, and think I stopped, think I went to the other side, and so I ride with the slow sometimes, and Tosha is always some. Tosha is the whole winter on the snowboarding, and during the summer he goes somewhere else. So he used his and Ivar's mountain boards in the trampoline park.
Mhm.
So they practice jumps on the trampolinas. So I think Ivar is not even he's not riding anymore, but I heard that he went a few times with the Boba over there. So I think the crew is now like in Romania. They all stopped. They went to the
Mhm.
other things to do. But that's why I started to pull some new kids inside here. To
And
we tried with to the problem here is the equipment. You cannot buy here a monkey board, and we
mm,
have problem. I have now one monkey board complete, and for the other, I need just bindings. I think I have a Pro MBS Pro 100 and with the wheels and the trucks, but just need bindings to have the boards.
yeah.
And everybody lost, Tosha lost his bindings somewhere. I'm not sure if Bobak can complete his board. He probably has, but so we had a tour with the Americans in 2015. They came the four of them. So we went through the Serbia, organized like 5 cities or six in the Serbia to on the mountains to stop over there and to promote mountain boarding. So we're riding there. Everybody is interested in mountain boarding. I like to ride it, but they don't have boards. And so when you
Mm.
don't have boards, you cannot
Yeah.
We'll have
move
to
forward.
if next time there is anything going on over Serbia, we'll we'll do encourage everybody to chuck a different part in their luggage when they're coming over,
Yeah.
so we can bring a few boards between us all to get kickstart the scene a bit, in the youngers. We'll chuck it. A person puts in a truck, one person puts in a truck, another person puts in a set of wheels, some bindings or whatever. We'll get a couple of boards out there.
Get a fleet going for you.
That's it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Ivan was making his own boards. He used my Core 16 and to make a shape. So he made his own boards. He had a few. He made a few. So we are giving them as a prizes
mhm.
on our competitions. And he also had his uncle made hubs out of plastic. Also those free spoke hubs.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
They're good. They're a bit heavy, but they're very good. So you can also find the tires somewhere from the wheelchairs and something like that. But the
Mm.
bindings are very high to fast. So we will see what will happen.
Yeah. So what was what do you think your sort of favorite memories of the international visits are from us guys? I should ask that to you both, really, shouldn't I, James? What
Yeah,
was your favorite trip to Serbia, or what was your favorite memory from a trip to Serbia?
the first time
Um,
Yeah,
probably.
ditch the dirt.
yeah, no, I think the first one will always be a favorite memory of mine.
Yeah,
For
he was scared. He
you're
didn't know
not.
where he's coming to.
I didn't know anyone either. It was just me and La. We came out, and it was a bit of an unknown because we'd never met Marc. We'd never seen any of it, and the only person when we got there that I knew from before was Nicky Gears. Everybody else I had no idea, and so just the feeling of being in the gates and having no idea if I was racing the best person there or not, and like I pull out the gates and be like, oh yeah, no, this is a race, and it was just like the whole thing was just such a party, and I think we slept for about 7 or 8 hours the whole 4 days we were there. The parties wouldn't stop. So that one was always a favorite. The pool parties were great, but I think also the first World Championships, so the following year, 2013, because again there was just it was electric. The atmosphere was, there was what, 12 Brits came over, the Americans came over, and it was the first big World Championships. We had so many nationalities, we had so many people.
We had 20 countries.
Yeah, man, it was so good, and just like it was the first time we got to see sort of like inter-country rivalries. So there was like a guy from the US embassy who was doing a speech because they brought the Americans over, and while he was doing his speech, Raf and Rich Sykes and everybody started singing God Save the Queen, and then the Americans started shouting back, going USA, USA, and they were like shouting at each other, and it was like the first time we saw that crazy like rivalry between everyone like that. So yeah, those two competitions for me are probably my favorite like all-time competitions.
Nice. What about you, Marc?
Yeah, for me, every competition is a very big main big impression for me. Even the small ones with just Romanians and Bulgarians, we went 3 times to the Romania on their competitions because we made a family that they're working together. Because first time I was in the Germany, even the second time, when you go over there and ride the track in Willingen, and they said, okay, now is the pause for the lunch, and everybody goes to their car, and everybody's just eating their food, and there is no socializing, so nothing was happening. So we came over to Serbia, and just like, hi, and that's all we got now, for the president. And when they Germans came to Serbia and say what friendship we had with the Romanians and the Polish guys, and they said that they saw it and they changed that story also. Also, the trade to Bulgaria and all our competitions we had, but it's always nicer to go to the competition where every time you don't have to do anything, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
To organize, And so we always going to do something, we wanted to have some Brits on our competitions, because we first brought Romanians, then the Ondra from the Czech Republic, and then the Polish guys and the Germans, and we said we must have Brits. So I said, we was talking with the Bob, we said, okay, we must choose one guy from the UK and bring it here. If he comes and like it, the other will follow, right? So the first guy I contacted was Matt Brayton, because we got Googled and I saw that he won the most competitions in that year. So I contacted him and said, oh yeah, it's cool, but I cannot come. I have something to do. Okay. And I said that the second best thing was my favorite British guy, James. Says I contacted James and he said, okay, I'll come. And so he said, okay, we'll pay for your ticket. So he came over here and he loved the track. So next time he came with a group. So the same happened.
Well, it's not the second best thing this year.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yes. I voted for James. I'm sorry. On that I voted for James.
Oh, thanks.
For me, I love all of them. I love the Rafael and everybody, Rich and Sykes and everybody I met from the UK. I love it. But James for me is my first love.
On a side note, just in whilst we was waiting for you, Marc, we were talking about James's appearance on a thing, and James said they had two hopes for the show outside of winning. James, what were those two hopes?
So there's 5 people on this show that I'm going on, and I said all I want is to not come last and not come second to a guy named Matt. I'll be happy if those things don't happen.
Well, I wonder where he would have been at the time. He'd have probably been maybe doing nitro or something, was he?
He was actually at a trade show in London, and it was to get onto Nitro Circus. He was showing his promo video and basically doing the groundwork to get into Nitro. So that's why he couldn't go. I mean, paid off. So
Yeah, yeah,
can't
without a
blame.
doubt.
So and then I got the invite instead. So cheers, pal.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so sick. I'd love to hit
I was about to go to Austria to watch match on the Nitro, but luckily I didn't go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
I'm gonna wasted trip.
I wouldn't see him.
We went to Birmingham to watch it the year that he was there as well. We already knew he wasn't there, but he was sat like 5 rows behind us instead of being on the show.
Got it. Um, yeah. Well, so I have a question.
Okay.
Well, in fact, I have to do 5 questions. I'm going to bang them out quickly now, and in case I
You thought
decide
of a name for it yet, Dan?
no, I haven't thought of a name for it because I haven't released. Cool. I got stuck on I got stuck on a glitch on the record. Then released it. I haven't released the last episode where we talked about it. um, yeah, 5 questions for you here that used to be called Slogs' 10 set. They're now something 5 set. But the first question for you, Marc, is do you ride switch or do you ride regular? Or goofy or regular?
I'm a regular all the way.
Regular all the way. Uh, question 2 would be what is your current board at the moment?
Oh, I love I ride a flame multi-board. I got it from Yomo, and because it has a Paul Peralta image on it, and it's a shorter board. I it's easier to ride a longer board. Like Pro 100 is easier to ride, but the shorter boards are for me better because I work with the kids and with the girls, and for them the smaller board is easier to control. So I'm riding that flame board for now, and I love that the trucks. Their trucks are different from the channel trucks, and
Yeah.
so you can make adjust with a screw, adjust the the balance.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it.
I think does Walter and Margot they ride on flames, don't they?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not sure if Margaret does now, but she did before. And Frida rides
yeah.
Flame as well. So they're quite close to Yomo. So.
Yeah, I had a stand on them. They felt, I gotta say, they felt pretty good. It's something we've not got in this country. I've not seen, no, I don't know of any Brit rider riding on them.
Yeah, I've got one. I got given one as a wedding present from Frida, and they have 2 of our wedding photos printed on it. I got one
I,
on the bottom and one on the front. And then
Frida loves that. He has his wedding on his board.
yeah, no, I love it. It's up. It was up on top of the trophy shelf, but he was like, "Oh, I haven't drilled the hole so that you could drill it where you want to." I was like, "I can't ride that. Can you imagine like scraping it up or whatever, like straight across your wedding photos?" Like, no, that one's staying on
Board slide your own face.
the. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where were we up to there? We talked about your board there as well, weren't we? So question 3 for you. Outside of Novi Sad,
Number.
what would be your favorite location to ride in the world?
You know the answer, right? Yeah, the Star City is the Star City is for a free ride, but I would like to try your border cross because I love border cross. And I was trying for 3 years to go to the Compiègne and never succeeded. And that Willingen, I don't know if anyone of you went to the Willingen in Germany. It's a bike track from the hard dirt, but the rollers are like 3 meters high and big rollers, and just you get step ups, and it's just like riding on the clouds. Yeah. So if I could choose, maybe that I think that Auto Grass had a nice motocross track,
Mhm.
but probably the Star City. If I want to go to not ride, I will go to the Star City.
Nice.
No. And last question then. Who would be your most influential rider over your time riding?
Who had impact on me, right?
Hmm.
Well, it's hard to say. We learned so much from the Polish crew, but Yomo is the guy I love, because there was one footage from our track when Yo was riding, and the bike was going behind him, and he was riding it like the snowboard. The turns, he was doing the perfect line, and even then he could overcome the guy in front of him. He just stopped the board. He didn't want to do it. He's not that competitive, but his skill on that competition was over there. So I always try to imitate that, but everybody has his own style. But
That's
so
influential doesn't have to can mean anything to the person that you're asking. Influential being having a good time, influential being stylish, influential being, it's open to your interpretation. So Yomo, you got it, brother. That's all
yeah,
right.
because Yoma is also a skateboarder like me. Even though his English is very poor, but we understand each other, and I love to ride with him. He's such a nice guy. Like everybody else, I love Arno. Arno is the guy you cannot not love. Like, he's unbelievable. Yeah, we had that. I think it was second world championship. We had the rain on our track. I was just down. I was in depression, big depression. We couldn't do anything. The rain, it was raining, and so he helped me to overcome that. And he's just super guy. I don't know if James was here on the first. Maybe he had that first world championship over here, and because Diego and me agreed to have like a big international riders meeting to talk about something on bottom boarding, and I provided a place to be, and before we started, the Arnold took his hand. He said, "Okay, before we start, does anybody in here ride dirt scooters?" And there was a few hands up, and said, "Okay, get out."
God, he's evolved from there, let me tell you, Marc. Don't even mention one wheels to him at the moment. Oh, boy, you'll send him into a fit of rage.
And now when I said it, I almost forgot him, but for Diego Anderson, he was the guy who did so much for bodyboarding, and
Yeah.
when I was talking to Boba, we could have a world championship. Before that, we had world championship in downhill and freestyle, but no border cross. I said, let's make the world championship. And so I asked Diego. I said, okay, no problem, do it. And he helped me with some advices, and so he pushed it through. And so I think Diego is the guy who was pushing that Martin Bowling real good direction.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
without a doubt here, an absolute pillar of the
oh,
mountain bike.
was Diego on your show? No,
No, no, no,
no.
not
I
yet.
think he's the
I
guy.
I have asked. I have asked. I hope that one day. Well, I do. I would love to do an episode with Diego.
Yeah, Yeah,
he's
me too.
always supported the show, like obviously I see the likes and things like that, and he's always there still supporting, and
Yeah,
that.
like he's unbelievable guy.
There's a few people on the list, that I'm still yet to still yet to nail
Bag 'em.
down. Yeah, I've still yet to bag as such. Um, one of which being Diego.
Yeah.
So if you are listening, Diego, Mark thinks you should come on and do an episode as well.
And so does James. James nod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember the one competition that really stayed in my mind. It was, I think this was Billingen in 2010. Uh, it was it is unbelievable story. We decided to go to me, Boba, little Tosha, and one guy who is
And one guy.
Oh no, we were doing so well.
I know, right? I know we've got fingers.
No.
And he's flicking his V's at you, Dan.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
I want to know what happened in 2010 now.
Yeah. His most memorable event in 2010. That's all we're going
Well,
to
if it
So
goes from here, we'll have to get him on for a second episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
so memorable it broke Serbian internet.
Oh no.
Another name for the list that he mentioned earlier, Dave Steervater.
Y yes, definitely.
Oh, we're
Oh,
back in.
okay. Yeah, we can see. I can see something.
You can see the
Yeah,
I
ceiling.
can see some nice roof beams.
Dave
Yeah,
Fighter. Who else is there? Mika.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
there's a whole host.
Oh yeah, Marco Dalla.
you see me, right?
Oh, indeed.
You're back in the game. Yeah, you're back in, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the battery was low, something.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
So anyway, to finish, we wanted to start and we couldn't go on the first day. We decided to go to Friday morning. The competition was on Saturday, so we all sat in the car, packed it, and it was the flat. We had a flat tire, and the fuel was leaking. So we so went to fix the tire, and then we were all confused, and we went to the border, but it was in the middle of summer. From the Serbia to the Hungary on the border, all the Turks are going back to the home. For the summer. It was like 3 hours jammed. But we could go on the other crossings, but we didn't. We thought it through. So we wait 3 hours and over there, and after that, Bob was riding like for 17, 18 hours in the car. He was the only, four of us, he was the only guy who drives the car. And now I woke up in the middle of the night. I saw his head was out on the window, so he was running. So he won't fall asleep. He put the cord on the speaker. I said, he was riding, and competition was starting in the 11, and we were there at the noon. So we were a bit late. They already did a practice run and the qualifications, but we came from the car and said, okay, you can come compete. So we got from the car, put our gear, and just do some few runs to the. I remember the Boba first time he stand on the board. He was doing those slope, and there's a big turn and like nasty drop. It was tricky one, and he fell over there, and everybody was saying, "Oh, Boba had a big crash," but. Boba is too strong, he falls, nothing happens to him. But he said, "Oh my God!" So after him, I went down, and I didn't see him. No Boba on the track. So I got panicked. So what happened? He broke something. He's the only guy who is driving. How we going to back to the Serbia? But what happened? He broke his truck or something or biting. I think the part of the truck he broke, and so he went somewhere to fix it. So he was missing like half hour or 1 hour, as I was stressing over there. So it was unbelievable experience.
An epic road trip there by the sound
Yeah.
of things. Jeez. One final little question, unrelated. After all these years of seeing such amazing fun that seemed to be happening at the hostel, there with parties and people getting, should we say, a little bit too tipsy?
Soiled kit
Safe to
bags.
say, yeah. And jumping into swimming pools off of balconies and stuff like that. Just to know, are they still taking bookings for British mountain board crews?
Not at that hostel.
Yeah. No, no. Something happened. The guy who owns that hostel is a pain in the ass. So we were there, but he always complaining or something. But so that's why for the last few years we went to the other hostel, but with no swimming pools. But I don't know who can swim in September. It's the water is pretty. But
Well, maybe
if
if
you
it was
see
that much of a pain in the
you
ass.
guys, the Polish guys, the Russians, they all they all live in the cold. So for them, it's like that water is probably warm.
I'm not surprised he got fed up. It was pretty wild. I remember the first year, one of the first years we were there anyway. So you've got like the pool, you can stand up in the pool. Like it's not like the
Like
deepest.
it's not deep, yeah.
No. So most people jump off the first story because it's open and there's no barrier whatsoever. So jump off there. Some people, Sonia included and Timotei, jumped off the second one, and my brother actually front flipped off
Yeah.
the second story. And that's
And
got a
then
really big, wide balcony where outside of people's rooms where people can sit. And I remember being on the roof
the
above
roof.
that, literally on the roof. It must have been about 5 a.m. because the sun started coming up, and we were like, "Shit, sun's coming up. We need to go to bed." And it was me, La, Erica, Jeremy, and then Sam from Romania. And we were all like watching the sunrise. And the owner came up and he was like, "Guys, you need to get off the roof." We were like, "Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll go to bed anyway." So we start like getting up and gathering our things, and all I hear is Sam go, "Geronimo!" And he runs along the roof, over the balcony, over the railing, and into the pool, like off the actual tile roof. He had to jump probably 6 foot to the railing, over the railing, and the pool's like
Yeah.
this deep and probably 10 foot wide at best.
Yeah,
like
something like
a fucking puddle.
Oh man, if he was slightly off, he was fucked. And he was so drunk. Just 5 in the morning. We were all just stood there like, "Oh my, is he dead?" He was perfectly fine. But yeah, fucking crazy. So I'm not surprised he got fed up because it was pretty crazy.
He's never been able to get the smell of piss out of one corner of one room, at least.
I mean, to be honest, it wasn't even. It was. I wasn't in that room because we had our own room, but it wasn't even like the corner. It was like the center of this really long rectangular room. Is the wall that he pissed up.
yeah.
Listen, Mark, I'm looking at the time now, and we're aiming for sort of an hour, and we are at that moment as we are right now. But it'd be remiss, as we've got James in here as a co-host and has been, you know, ever the gentleman, and let me ramble on as opposed to cut in. James, was there any questions you might have for Mark or anything like that? Put you on the spot for a minute.
Yeah, could have given me some prep, couldn't you?
I should have done, really, shouldn't I? But I thought, I don't want to I don't want to seem rude and not give you the opportunity to speak.
To be honest, I think we've covered everything quite well. I think we covered all the top points from the competitions. So
Yeah.
unless
Slogs, you anything?
No, I got nothing. Although I think we leave the last bit to Mark. If there's anyone he needs to shout out to that he hasn't done already.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned the waterfall crew and the Diego and the Yomo and of course you guys. Not sure. Of course the Americans. Come on. Yeah. I love those Americans. You know the Cody and the Jeremy and the Mason, Dave. I love those guys. found them all of them. Like I found the James. I followed them on the online, so I asked them to come, and so they all came. So they're unbelievable guys. So each time I meet them, it's for me like a holiday. For me, the mountainboarding is really I'm involved in a lot of sports. As a gym teacher, as a skateboarder, and as a runner and a marathon runner. I have tried snowboarding, everything, but no community is that strong like mountainboarders are. There is unbelievable some energy over there.
And that's a great thing to end on. That is
the
mountainboard community.
It really is. Yeah, it is something special we've all got. Look, Predrag, Marc, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
guys.
your time.
Hopefully, I have a plan. I'm not sure. I haven't asked James yet, but I have a plan to come to UK this year. So,
you'll be welcome.
You would love it. You would love it. And I'm about to move to a house where I'll actually have a spare bed for you as well. So I only live 40-minute drive from Bugs. So yeah, you should come.
Yeah. For us the visa is the biggest problem, and if I really think I should put some effort in it. I will pay everything they want. It's like 4 hours to fill those forms they want to. But I have a job, I have a family, I have a house. If I get an invitation letter from you guys, I think there'll be no problems to get visa. So I would really like to come to the UK.
Yeah, man, let us know how we can help. And if you can time it with like the UK Championships, we can, if you need like a personal letter for the visa, or if we could do one from the ATBA from the competition everyone will help get you over.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
can definitely do that. Bring an empty suitcase and take back a load of boards for the kids and stuff.
Oh, the customs are here. That's the biggest problem. We are not in the union. That core 16 I bought, it cost me like 95 euros, and I paid an additional €5 for the bank transfer and 15 for the shipping. And when I came over here, they asked me for the taxes, for the customs. They said 33%. So I brought the money and said, "Oh, there is another 18% for the taxes." So, so it cost me almost 200.
There you go. Definitely bring an empty.
They double the biggest tip on the customs. So when we buy something, we buy it on the black market. No way. If it comes to the regular mail, they just charge too much.
Yeah. Right. Well, dude, thank you again. We'll look to tie this episode up.
And hopefully we'll see you in the UK this year.
Yeah.
I hope so. Hope also. I will do my best, really. I missed the Compiègne last year, but I should come to the UK.
Yeah, man, it's been good to see you again. And you gotta come see the little kids now.
That's it.
Yep.
Cool. Good night, all. Good night, all.
Thanks,
until the
kids.
next episode.
You're welcome.
See you later.
Cheers, Marc.
See you, Marc.
See you.
Way aye, man. That was dead canny as out, that like. Cheers for tuning out to listen. Now, before you gan yem, don't forget, if you want to keep getting doing with the Dirty Dirt fun, like and subscribe. Get amongst it. Shy Ben's getting out.